So today we're going to pull the mask and the feathers and so on off and see how it's really your wisdom. Okay, there are two forms of this, and one is where your wisdom and samsara emerge together, but then they part company, and so what you're trying to do is to come back through your samsaric tendencies to the wisdom. And the supposedly higher view is that never, never was your wisdom confused. Not really different in the first place. Samsara was never born in any actual way. So it's all just as it is now is the wisdom. Now, look what's happened to emptiness. It's empty of samsara, but it's filled with wisdom. And Tibetan saying, everything is contained in the sphere of self-born wisdom, if that tickles you good. And it's, okay, this whole world that you think is outer, inner, all those sophistries, all of it, it's the radiance of that essence. But for humans to understand, to be able to approach it, you need some kind of intermediate. Anytime you're trying to learn anything, you have to have intermediates between, and you can't just suddenly leap onto a court and be a super basketball player. There has to be some kind of intermediate thing, and that's supposedly what school is. Like, you can't just suddenly say, all right, it's now your 18th birthday, you are an adult, you know everything, go use that computer and go. Okay, now, what the tradition does, and this is Vajrayana, one of the things that is a mark of Vajrayana, the wisdom is expressed as a mandala, which is a kind of holographic structure of this whole interdependent relative world universe in its transformed, crazy samsaric qualities, wisdom qualities. Okay, so here is an example of a mandala, and it has a center and has 4 sides, and those are the names, and it's on your handout, so you don't have to worry about writing it down. This is a flat representation. There are also, here's a 3-dimensional representation, and each of the sides has a color, and the colors, actually this one is rotated. Your south is over here on the flat one, and it's over here in this particular representation. So what does this mean for the enlightened vision? Well, each section of that mandala represents a particular kind of confused samsaric energy and its wisdom transformation, or its wisdom underpinning. If you take the first view of the relationship between wisdom and all of this, you call it a transformation. If you take the second view, it's what it is, its basic nature that you're seeing, and the compassionate, this is still a branch of Mahayana Buddha activity that corresponds to that. Now, in my worrying, how was I going to talk about this so you would see the possibilities of your craziness being your wisdom? Should we go into the mandala, which on the face of it looks complicated? And the thing that finally decided me is that what this is the transformed, or the original form of the realms. And on your midterm, the great majority of you wrote on the realms, you answered the realms question, and you did so very nicely. So here we are. Now, students of Vajrayana do practice this, so they identify with the energy, so they can transform all the confused energies of their own and the world into their corresponding wisdoms. That's how this stuff is used. So let's go on a tour. You're now at Vajrayana Disney World, and we're going to get in our little cart and go on a magical mystery tour of a representative mandala. Now, first, there's a ring surrounding the mandala, and that ring is protector energy. Protectors are called mahakalas, and this is the way they look. But what their job is to, when along comes a confused, crazy energy, threaten, I'm going to get you, or just, I need something, whatever, is to transform it into its wisdom form, or its potential wisdom form, as you enter the mandala. And what this shows right off is that the segments of human societies, and all societies have something that fulfills this function, that we find obnoxious, usually, actually has a place if it's used properly. And police, army, and in Sufi view, even Satan has, from the wisdom point of view, this function, not actually to lead people astray, it's to make sure that they're properly cleaned up before they enter the garden. So it's just that this phase of society needs to realize its wisdom potential and do good rather than harm. Okay, so now we can enter the mandala because we've gone through that, and traditionally it's through the east gate, which is that blue one. And this is the energy, which is called Vajra, and that's your anger, your rage, and your color realm. Okay, guys, what's the wisdom inherent in the energy of anger? Some of you are more prone to anger or good anger than others, but everyone is experienced getting pissed off at something sometime in their life. Yes?
It can be a good energy to do what you need to do.
Okay, the suggestion was that it's a good energy to need what you need to do. Okay, and yes? Correct injustices, right? Okay, now here's the thing. Why are you upset about injustices, and what is it that you need to do? I mean, why you feel angry? And it says, well, what you know, the wisdom part is, you know that there's peace and harmony includes justice. The things are balanced properly, as they should be. And something or someone is interfering with that. And you want to get at the peace and harmony and justice and proper balance of things. You want that, and this energy goes, right? Shouldn't be that way. Dad, get him, do something. But the Vajra wisdom goes further, and it says, well, that peace is inherent in the heart of all experience, even in the energy of anger itself. You've already potentially, in fact, you've already got your peace. like the eye of a hurricane. Look at this storm. These are two different, hurricanes are something we're aware of right now. The heart is perfectly peaceful. So other glimpses. The moment before a thunderstorm. We don't get a lot of those here, but any of you that are from somewhere that does, there's this moment. The moment before losing one's temper, and you may be more aware of it, the moment after losing one's temper. I was once living in an apartment. It was a row of apartments. The woman who became my friend was living on the other end of the row, and in between us was another apartment. And into it moved this amazing group of people that were very noisy, and they had slam dances, which I understand was on out of fashion. You know what those are? Oh, okay, well, anyway, you careen against the walls and people slam each other. And so, and these were, the motorcycle gang type folks who do things like that. And one night, and they would go on for days, they'd get on to stuff. And one night, I was sitting there, and had gone beyond fear and anger to, all right, I have to move out, there's no other way. And I heard the voice of this other lady kind of yelling and screaming, so I thought, okay, I better go see what's happening. So I called the police. Opened the door, and their door was wide open. And she was in it, and she was like 5'1" or 4'9" or something, and a social worker, and had this nice little cat. And she was in there holding a chair, one of their chairs, and screaming and hitting these guys in their big black motorcycle jackets, and they were running away. And then, mostly the place had cleared out, and then everybody just stopped there. It was almost like Thich Nhat Hanh's awakening bell, just kind of, and it was her expression. She realized what she was doing, and everybody kind of woke up actually. And well, anyway, okay. Now, it's precisely the penetrating energy of anger which can cut through samsara concepts and emotions to reveal the peaceful, and here's the name of the wisdom, which is on your handout, mirror-like wisdom. And this is, it shows all things in their pure, open, luminous form, which is the Vajrayana version of Shunyata. And what these wisdoms do is mirror things like Shunyata, which was described as empty, but now it's full of wisdom, and it's this wisdom of penetrating peace and balance. It's like, and here's some analogies, gazing into a deep blue lake, this is a blue color energy, gazing at oneself in a mirror. Like, there it is, it's in the mirror, it's very vivid, but is the image in the mirror going to freak out about things? No. You say, well, that sounds kind of boring, who wants to be an image in a mirror? Well, this is just the first wisdom, you've got more to come. And the enlightened activity of this is pacifying, and you don't repress, you don't act out, but you see the real nature, so this is where the need for mindfulness comes in. And there's a so-called deity of each of these energies, and here he is. It's also on your handout. And notice he's touching the earth, just like the Buddha, so this is your very grounding energy. He holds this Vajra thunderbolt in his hand, cutting obstacles, and practitioners would use this to visualize themselves as this and the world as this, and get with this kind of energy. Now, our nearest culture figure, we have one that's very Vajra. Ferdinand the Bull. Did you get Ferdinand the Bull when you were a kid? All right, a lot of nods. So Ferdinand the Bull, he just wants to sit in his meadow and chomp grass and smell flowers, and then one day, his peaceful life is interrupted. A bee comes along and stings him, and he goes into a rage, and just then they're looking for, people have come to look for a savage bull, and having a bullfight, and they capture him, and they put him in the ring, and by then the bee sting is gone, so he's just standing there. He didn't care about the matter, Anyway, what happened in your version? Nobody remembers. Okay, yeah. So, next time you get angry, look for your Ferdinand the Bull. That is, what is it that you actually want, or that you're seeing, that you feel is being interfered with? And look for the eye of the hurricane. That even in being angry, you've got that kind of ground. Okay. Now, here's an example. Writing a paper. You will all probably be writing at least one paper pretty soon. Now, the task intrudes on one's peace. At least I always feel that way. And I resent it. And by the way, so I never graduated from this kind of institution, so I have to do it all the time. And so there's resentment and worry and kind of distance from it and putting it off. Now, one has to pacify that or you'll never do it. And it means settling down and looking with some clarity. All right, what is it? What's the ground? Touching the earth. All right, now, moving on. And go on to the south, Ratna, poverty, greed, hungry ghost realm. What's the wisdom in a poverty mind? When do you feel that way? I don't have any. I can't do it. You're looking at the paper now, you settle down, I can't do this. I don't know anything about this. There are all those books, I don't understand anything. Well, look, Sarah, I can't do it. What? You already see the stuff. There are all these books, all this information around. It's just I don't have it. I don't have any money. There's all this money around. There are all these gorgeous things, houses and trees, and I can't get any. There's all this wonderful food, and I don't feel well. I can't eat it. You're seeing the richness of the world. You know there's richness all around, and you want it. It's just you've got this ego that says, but it's not mine. Well, of course it isn't yours. You aren't actually there in any real way. So Ratna wisdom adds that the inherent richness is already there, and this is the Vajrayana stage of interdependence. So when you settle down to the inherent peacefulness, boom, there's this rich world, and you kind of have the choice of either, yes, look at it, yes, it's all there, it's all popping up richly, or saying, yeah, but it's not mine. Oh, it isn't. So when your poverty mind is pacified, and then it's revealed as the richness of the universe, the wisdom of this is equanimity. And it's not neutrality. It's just settling into kind of the mindfulness of life aspect. There it all is, inherent richness. Kind of like the images wandering through a harvest or a farmer's market that we have around all these, just overpouring stalls. And the good activity is enriching generosity, which in Mahayana you saw as you come up Shunyata in the world manifest, you radiate. You can hear it again in very energetic fashion. And you don't have to pretend and hoard, and you just see it. Here's the deity. This is he's with an open hand, sorry, right hand. And those jewels again, you're bringing to the world. So giving jewels, these gold colored. And our culture is, we're approaching it, okay, Thanksgiving, harvest. Writing the paper, okay, you've pacified, you've settled down. You've seen that there's all this stuff around possibilities. So gathering the information and ideas will pop up and possibilities will pop up. You really will when you settle down. You hear that? Okay, next one, proceeding to the Western realm, the human realm. We've skipped animal realm. Well, we're going to get to it. Ignorance is in the center. So, what's the wisdom of this kind of grasping passion? This is our element. We're humans. We don't want to say. There are a number of expressions that I don't want to talk about. All right. The interdependent world, this is something now that Vajrayana adds, is not only rich, but magnetic. Okay? Beautiful sights, seductive sounds, delicious taste, and all the rest of it. Nice thoughts, interesting thoughts, seductive thoughts. Or just the opposite, which is part of magnetism, right? You've got two poles, attractive, repelling. So, nasty thoughts, frightening thoughts, ugly, dog shit, all of it. Now, that's normally we're ping pong balls, right? We're being batted around by attraction and repulsion. And the Padma wisdom adds that when you approach this with equanimity, its true nature is going to be, now it's wisdom, discriminating awareness, that sees what's really good, as opposed to the seduction where the being a ping pong ball. And any time that your grasping mind becomes appreciative, then you can see what's good there. So the good activity is magnetizing. And you've got here because you've noticed that there is something that probably has something to do with school, that or that's almost related to it, that is very attractive to you, and that you've honed in on it, that this is a good thing, and you want to do that. And what happens when you follow your passion that way, that is the wisdom in your passion, is it magnetizes the things that you need to do that. It will magnetize funds. You're trying to start a business, and it's really the right thing. You'll get investment capital. Somebody will support it. You'll get a scholarship. You'll get your first job. You'll get into graduate school. Kind of all whatever. It will come together. And the deity, he's holding a lotus. Remember the symbolism of a lotus or a bowl of nectar. And our images, there's kind of the wise virgin and the savvy consumer. And I love this one. This is your perfume that Verlaine has named Samsara. So, and they got the red. The color of this is red. I don't think they knew. I think this just spontaneously arose. And she's both seductive, but look at the expression. She knows the best thing to use, which is, of course, the genius of advertising, their perfume. Okay, the paper. Now, you've gathered all your information, all the richness. Now, how things are related, right? Things magnetizing together, the inspiration part, the passion part, how to put everything together so that it means something. Okay, next one. Fear, paranoia, jealousy. Jealous Vajra. This crossed thunderbolts, crossed Vajra is the freedom from fear symbol. All right, what's the wisdom aspect of that? Well, there's the bad news and the good news. You're right. Look, none of us are going to make it out of this life alive. Okay? We can't really hold things, keep them, win them. By the way, jealousy in this context means the kind of, doesn't mean that you want what someone else has. That's part of your passion system. This is, you want to hold on to what you have. My wife, my husband, my money, don't touch, don't come near. So it's part of the fear system. And